It's safe to say that swimming is a pretty big part of Subnautica. But what would happen if we, you know, didn't? Wait, stop, wait, hang on a second. Well, I guess we're doing this then. First things first, before we get started, we're going to want to define what swimming means. Swimming in this challenge is going to be classed as using movement keys like WASD or spacebar while the player character is in the swimming state. This means that I am allowed to do things like walk around on land and pilot some of the mid to late game vehicles, but means that I can't move around unassisted in the water, and also bars me from using early game vehicles like the Sea Glide. To top all of this off, I'm also going to be doing this run on the game's hardest difficulty, meaning that if I die at any point in the run, I get sent straight back to the beginning. And that then begs the question, how the hell am I going to be moving around? There is one way, but it might just be the slowest, most aggravating, and expensive form of movement in any game I've ever played. The fire extinguisher in Subnautica is essentially a cosmetic item. Most players will basically only ever use the thing during the intro and then in one specific spot in the Aurora. But for this challenge, it's going to be an invaluable tool, as one of the mostly looked over elements of the fire extinguisher is that when you use it in the swim state, it slowly pushes you around. This is going to be our main source of movement in the early game, allowing us to move without needing us to ourselves be swimming. Doing the entire early game with just the fire extinguisher though isn't exactly going to be easy. You see, not only is the fire extinguisher really slow even when blasting a thing, but we're not even going to be able to do that, as tap firing the thing uses significantly less charge for going the same distance. Which, oh yeah, each fire extinguisher has a limited amount of usage, each one only being able to travel about 100 or so meters before running out and needing to be thrown away, meaning that we are going to constantly need to be burning away titanium, the most valuable early game resource, just to be able to make more and keep moving around. It also leaves us with a distinct possibility of soft locking ourselves by running out of fire extinguishers before we're able to make any more. Fuck. That's annoying. And if all of that wasn't bad enough, it makes all movements we make completely blind, as the fire extinguisher will only ever send us backwards, meaning every single time we want to get somewhere, we might as well be doing it blindfolded. It does give us the ability to actually start making some progress towards getting the Seamoth though. So as we hop out of the life pod, we start very slowly and very painfully filling up our pockets with all the titanium we could need. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, one more time. Okay, so this time we're just gonna put our focus on playing it safe and right! Maybe if I just get a little bit more titanium at the beginning, then fuck's sake! Can't I just let me in? Don't you dare! Get used to this death counter, by the way. This challenge is seriously difficult to get a good run on, and this number is going to be way bigger than it has to be by the time we're done. Eventually though, I finally managed to get a run where I avoid asphyxiating myself long enough to get my hands on everything I need to start making some real progress towards the Seamoth. Luckily for us, there's also a crash site only a few hundred meters away from the life pod that has all the Seamoth fragments we need, as well as a nearby kelp forest that has all the fragments we need for the mobile vehicle bay. And so, I stack myself up, and after one near miss, holy fuck, I nearly ran off with these. We set out on a very long journey towards the crash site, and with absolutely zero issues, we swooped down and managed to get our hands on some Seamoth fragments with absolutely no issues in sight. After that, we start heading back towards the life raft to... Okay. So maybe I should have been a bit more careful to get myself some food and water before I went. That's fine though. Fish are a very easy source of food and water. All I gotta do to get some is... can I help you?
Think you can catch me? Foolish.
I don't have a choice. It's you or me.
You are funny.
Well, thank you. I actually put a lot of effort into...
For thinking you're fast enough.
Hey! Wait! Okay. So there's still a small problem that I've been neglecting to talk about. You see, food and more specifically water is very hard to get your hands on without swimming. The only real way to get a decent supply of both in the early game is by catching fishes and cooking them on the fabricator. The only problem with this is that the fire extinguisher is really fucking slow, to a point where you simply can't catch up with the fish, meaning that until we get something to help us with catching them, we're gonna have to look elsewhere to get our basic necessities. Luckily for us, there's a saving grace. While scouting some possible routes, I managed to find a crate that spawns just by the side of the crash site that has a water bottle inside. On top of this, I did a bit of research into the speed run for building this Seamoth, and with both the small amount of food and water you start with, coupled with this extra water bottle, I would have just about enough time to be able to craft the Seamoth before dying from dehydration. Now, you might be wondering,
Goldstuff, why are you just trying to get this Seamoth as quickly as possible? Wouldn't that still just leave you to die from dehydration anyway? Wouldn't it be better to actually find some kind of way to get food first? I mean...
2 seconds later.
well, you see, my good friends, the reason why I'm rushing to get the Seamoth in particular is that it can actually be used for hunting, with a little bit of help from our good old friend, vehicular manslaughter. This would finally give us the reliable source of food that we were in such desperate need of, which would then allow us to start actually making some progress with the rest of the game. So, starting into our next attempt, we start the clock on when our food supply would run out. Starting off, we managed to get a pretty decent spawn. I started off by spending the first little while just picking up as much titanium as possible. The Seamoth and the vehicle bay require an extra 20 titanium to make on top of the titanium I need for extinguishers, so I just opted to completely fill my starting chest with the stuff. I then started to very slowly make my way through some caves, fighting my very limited air supply while gathering all the extra resources needed like copper and silver. Eventually, this allowed me to make the oxygen tank, the scanner, and the improved oxygen tank, and finally, with all my equipment ready to go, I set off for the crash site. The water bottle over there would give me the few extra precious minutes I need in order to complete the Seamoth. So, crossing my fingers, Where's the box? Where's the box? Where's the box? The box was supposed to be here. Where's the box? Where's the box? Where's the box? Where's the box? What happened to the box? Where's the box? So, as it turns out, I missed something. The box that spawns with a bottle of water isn't guaranteed to be there. It is, in fact, a random spawn, meaning that my plan of using the Seamoth to kill fish simply wasn't going to be quick enough without wasting hundreds of hours trying to get a run that had the water water spawn. Okay, back to the drawing board. So, the problem lies in our food supply. The fish are too quick for me, yada yada, so what other kind of stuff could we employ to try and make the fish a little easier to catch? We've already ruled out the option of using a vehicle to kill them. There's the stasis rifle, that would allow us to freeze the fish and collect them that way. Only problem is that the fragments for the stasis rifle are far too far away from the safe shallows to realistically be able to reach with just our fire extinguishers. What about the repulsion cannon? Same issue, both too far away and too close to the Aurora to be able to scan without the Seamoth.
What about the grav trap?
What?
The grav trap. It's cheap, its fragments are pretty close to the safe shallows, and it stops fish from being able to outrun you.
Well, that's not a bad idea, actually. That would give us a quick and easy method to both food and water. It would even let us take our time at the beginning, leading to less mistakes early on. Thanks, nerd. That's actually quite useful.
Does this mean I can leave? Does this mean I won't die this time?
It does, nerd. Go. Be free.
Yippee!
Well, I think we now have a pretty solid plan. Scouting out my options, I found some decent spots for some grab trap fragments nearby to the spawn location that wouldn't be very hard to get to and get started on my next attempt.
Do you really think this will work? This challenge is doomed. You cannot win.
No, I won't let that be the case.
You will never catch me. You will try, and you will try, but you will never win. Wait, where are you going?
Oh, I'm just gonna go get the fragment pieces.
Wait, what? But don't you need to get all the titanium and stuff first?
Well, I did, but this is a video. I'm literally editing in real time as we speak.
Well, don't you think you should, maybe show the audience what you're doing?
No, I think they've kind of gotten the gist by now. Speaking of which, the fragment parts are even closer than I thought they were, and with everything I need. What was that about never being able to catch you?
Look, we can talk about this. You don't need to... Where's that music?
So, we've now made it. With the grav trap now giving us a reliable source of food, it wasn't long until I was able to get a run where I could survive the early game long enough to finally be able to get my hands on the Seamoth. Where is it? Oh, yes. Come to Papa. Oh my god, this was so good. With the Seamoth now firmly placed in our tool belt, the game has completely opened up to us. While we're definitely not done dealing with all the problems this challenge is going to throw at us, the fact that we've now finally made it out of the safe shallows left me ready for what comes next. Speaking of which, I think it's time we move out of our life pod and into something a bit more luxurious.
Alert! Alert! Nearby life pods detected. Urgent assistance requested.
Oh, yes, fucking Christ, I get it. How many life pods?
There are currently 5 life pods detected.
Okay, and how many of them are giving off distress signals?
All of them.
Okay, just give me the coordinates.
Coordinates uploaded to your databank. Caution is advised when approaching. Mass distress signals are a common symptom of extreme danger, often the kind that can lead to violent and painful death.
Thanks! That's not ominous at all.
Good luck!
I cannot understate how good it feels to be able to move around with WSD again. The Seamoth now gives us so much extra breathing room on the map as well. And with it, we can start getting our hands on some of the more fun items that the game has to offer, like the repulsion cannon, laser cutter, radiation suit, and more. Speaking of which, some of those life pods seem to be about here somewhere. With any luck, we'll be able to get ourselves some help. Hello? Is anyone home? Peekaboo. Here's Johnny. Hello? Oh. It seems like we're shit out of luck. I'm just lucky there wasn't any foreshadowing with these things. Get away, get away, get away, get away! Well, here we are. The Aurora. This place is an absolute treasure trove for us loot-wise. Inside the Aurora, we can find an upgrade for the Seamoth, allowing us to take it far deeper before it starts getting crushed, as well as all the fragments we need to make up the Prawn suit, the vehicle that's going to give us access to the late-game biomes and all the goodies that come with them. So, grabbing everything and fixing up the reactor, we start heading our way back to... Why is this not moving? I may have made a boo-boo. I may have beached my Seamoth. I can't pick it up for some reason. Do I have enough fire extinguishers? I don't have enough fire extinguishers to get back. What the fuck am I gonna do here? Ah! Got it. Looked it up. I reckon. Yes, I can. And we're out. Well, that was terrifying. Now it's time to make the Prawn suit. Jacob.
Yeah.
I need help. I gotta customize the mech suit. What's the name? What's the name?
Fagatron.
Bear in mind it's going in a YouTube video.
Oh,
It is.
sorry. Maybe not Fagatron then.
Definitely not Fagatron.
What colours should I do?
Your character,
Not
red and
me.
gold.
Oh yeah, that's actually based. That's actually so based. There we go. That looks good. I got the. Oh wait, no, it's Mackey's. I got the Mackey's mobile.
Wait, that's the name.
Yes, Mackey's mobile. Mackey's mobile engaged. Little did I know it at the time, but this prawn suit would be the cause for me losing over 20 hours worth of progress. You see, the prawn suit as it is right now does give us access to some new biomes, but in order to get it up to the point where I can use it to end the game, we're gonna need to grab 4 different upgrades for it. Those being the 2 depth upgrades, allowing us to go to the Lost River and Inactive Lava Zone, as well as the 2 arms, the drill arm and the grapple arm, allowing us to both mine resources more easily, as well as get around with enough speed to outrun anything that comes for us. I want to tackle the arms first, as they would make getting the depth upgrades far easier. So we set out for the dunes. There's a crash site fairly close to the edge of the biome there that had spawn locations for both arms that we needed. It does, however, also have a Reaper Leviathan and a Warper spawn nearby, so it wasn't exactly going to be an easy trip, but after looking through my options, it definitely seemed like the safest of them.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You're a radio. You literally don't have the ability to feel anything about anything.
I know. That's why it's worrying me.
It's fine. There's no way the Reaper can do anything so long as I just stay inside the prawn suit. It'll be a quick in and out job.
Incorrect. You are required to leave the vehicle in order to scan the desired fragments.
I'll be careful. Look, there's one of them here. I wonder if there's any more around here.
Perhaps it would be best if we were to vacate the area. My scans show possibly hostile creatures nearby.
We're not leaving till we get what we came for. The Reaper isn't anywhere to be seen anyway. I'm heading inside. I'll see you in a sec.
Wait! There's a warper here! We must
I'll be
vacate the premises
fine.
immediately!
God, machines, am I right? Anyway, where was I? Yep, that was how 20 hours worth of gameplay went down the drain. I was more than a little deflated by the whole thing. Having to spend another 10 hours of failed starts, followed by another 20 hours of gameplay to get back to where I was making me feel very ready to just call it quits on the challenge and try again with another video idea. But in my mildly depressive state, I started reading the comments on the last video. So much positivity, so much excitement for the future, so much... Wait, what's that?
LOL. That wasn't even that hard. I literally beat that challenge in like a day. Maybe try doing something a little harder next time. No one likes watching something so easy.
Easy? That challenge took me over a week to beat! Right, that's it! If you want a challenge worth beating, I'm gonna give you a challenge worth beating! I'm gonna beat this fucking game! And I'm gonna do it today! And just like that, the fire had been lit underneath me. I was beating this challenge that night, or I was gonna die trying. And die I did. I failed many, many times before finally getting this run. That's the Seamoth. Now the prawn suit.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
And finally, we were back to where we were, and it was time to give our prawn suit a more fitting name. Setting back into the game though, I decided to take a little break from gathering resources to go and progress the story a bit. So with the sunbeam on the way, we head over to the alien facility, get diagnosed with cooties, and get ready for our salvation. You know, this challenge may have cost me almost 60 hours of my time and caused me irreparable amounts of stress and trauma, but I think everything from here is going to be okay. Well, time to get those arms. And for that, we're going to switch our focus over to the underwater islands. There's a crash site over this way that, while swarming with bone sharks, doesn't have any leviathans or warpers nearby, meaning that so long as we're smart about it, we shouldn't have anything to worry about as we go through the wreckage, getting all the fragments we need, finally being able to finish off the prawn suit and take it down into the depths of the Lost River. Now, the Lost River actually isn't as deadly as you might initially think. By this point, we have a pretty beefy prawn suit, so we don't actually have too much to worry about. Stay away! Stay away! And with that, it's pretty easy for us to go and check out all the story points we need to reach down here.
What the fuck is that?
We even get called down to a nice little hideout at the very bottom of the lava zone by someone who says they want to help us.
Please don't eat me!
All the while, making sure to get plenty of resources. And make some brand new friends, hatching their eggs and finally getting cured of the infection.
Get it off me! Get it off me! Get it off me!
And with that now, we only have one last thing left to do.
Yeah, so there's like no way we could get you like you are right now. You're gonna have to make a rocket yourself and meet us halfway.
Okay, so you're telling me that I'm supposed to figure out rocket science entirely on my own, in the middle of an alien planet, with no help?
We'll send you some schematics via the admin computer in the Aurora. Just make that and you'll be fine. We'll see you soon.
Wait, where do you think of... Okay, fine. Looks like we got a little mission on our hands. Arriving back on the Aurora, we slowly make our way back through the ship, over to the captain's quarters at the very far side, where we find ourselves the admin computer and the schematics for the Neptune rocket. Now, building the rocket wasn't anything massively entertaining. I sat down the launch pad and started the constant back and forth for looking at what's needed, going and getting it, and building the next section. There was one point where I'd forgotten to grab the blueprints for the ion power cells, but other than that, I think we just skipped to the end.
You did it, sir. You managed to make it all this way without ever needing to swim. Your muscles are undergoing an impressive amount of deterioration.
Oh, it's nothing, Mr. Robot Guy. But boy, am I glad to finally be getting off this rock.
Ready when you are, sir.
Right, engines? Check. Force field? Check. Subscribe button.
Pressed.
All systems go. Let's do this.
Ready for takeoff in T-5.
Thank you all for tuning in.
3,
Until next time.
2, 1.